What's going on, everybody? Josh here from Dark Horse Tackle. Happy May. I've got the May box in my hands, and let me tell you, this box is perfect for the post spawn. We've got some moving baits, we've got some top water, and we've got some baits that downright catch fish. But before we get into any of that, I want to let all of you know that we have a pre-order up for the Creek Fishing Adventures multi-species kit. For years, you all have asked, please come out with a multi-species kit. Do you guys even like multi-species fishing? And the answer is yes, we love it, but we didn't have the right person. And that's why, with the help of John Dalton from Creek Fishing Adventures, he has curated the perfect box for everybody involved with Dark Horse Tackle. Because let me tell you, as an owner and a customer, I am absolutely tickled by this box. It comes with 8 baits and 2 jig heads that match a bunch of the baits in that kit. Absolutely perfect. It's great for all kinds of multi-species fishing, whether you're on a creek, a canal, a river, a stream, a little pond like the one behind me, or on big bodies of water. It's going to catch a multitude of species everywhere, and I can't wait for you all to start catching fish with this and go, what species of fish is that? So get to darkhorsetackle.com right now, look up the Creek Fishing Adventures multi-species kit, and get pre-ordered while you can, because once they are gone, they are absolutely gone. Now, let's get into this box. We're gonna get moving on the first bait, and by moving, I mean covering water with this Blue Rock Custom Tackle spinnerbait right here. As you can see, gorgeous looking spinnerbait, great shape of the head's gonna come through everything, nice, thin, short wire, keeps it very compact, allowing bass to easily put this thing in their mouth and you to set the hook and catch that bass. Wire tied skirt. I would recommend covering as much water as you can once those bass stop spawning. When they go into that post spawn and that shad spawn starts to happen, cover a ton of water. Always have a spinnerbait tied on. We've got a wide selection of spinnerbaits in our shop, but this Blue Rock Custom Tackle spinnerbait is one of my favorites to throw throughout the entire year. I love the thin wire. I love how easy it comes through cover, and it flat out just gets bit. You put your favorite trailer on it, or you don't even have to put a trailer on it because this bait just catches fish. One thing about not throwing a trailer with your spinnerbait is it does completely change the action, allowing the entire spinnerbait to be the focal point. You won't have a trailer slowing it down or changing the action at all. You get that true action of the spinnerbait with no trailer. Adding a trailer hook is always optional. I never throw a trailer hook personally, but if you like to throw a trailer hook, let us know in the comments who makes your favorite trailer hook, because we would love to know. But again, throwing this spinnerbait without a trailer is just like throwing a spinnerbait with a trailer. I'm gonna throw this into everything I can. I'm gonna throw it all the way up into fallen down trees, burn it through that fallen down tree, and pause it. Let that thing flutter down towards the end of the tree, or every so often with those branches, bring it over those branches, pause, bring it over those branches, pause. Another one of my favorite ways to fish this bait is by waking it. If those fish are shallow or they're busting on shad, get those blades into about that much of water to where they're almost coming out of the water, and you can generate some of the greatest reaction strikes you've ever seen. Next up, we've got our perfect pairing, and that is the Secret Lures 4.0 Stupid Tube with the HD Stupid Tube rig. A tube is a great bait that just flat out gets bit, but it also looks very similar, not only to a fleeing or dying bait fish, but you can also get this bait to look like a crawdad. I'm gonna show you all how to rig the Stupid Tube, and then we're gonna talk about the effectiveness of this rig and the tube in general. You're gonna weave that hook through this tube just like this, and you're gonna come out right before the tip of the head, bring that hook out just like this, slide that weight all the way to the top, and then you're gonna rotate that line tie until it comes out just like this, and it's gonna look very similar to a Texas rig tube, but it's got that concealed weight in it. Then you rig it just like you would a Texas rig, nice and weedless, and boom, there you have it. Now, the Stupid Tube rig is incredibly effective because, like we discussed earlier, not only does this bait mimic a fleeing or dying bait fish, but it also mimics a crawdad or bottom forage very well. There's a bunch of different ways that you can fish this bait. I highly recommend you fish this bait on a very stiff, heavier action side of rod. I throw this rod on nothing less than a 7-foot medium heavy rod, but I throw it on a 7'4" medium heavy fast action rod. I'm going 30-pound braid to a 15 to 20-pound leader. No exception. I like the no stretch of that braid and just a little bit of stretch from my leader, because that's all you're gonna need. You want to secure that hook set because there is a lot going on. When this collapses down, boom, that's the money shot right there. That's gonna secure that fish. Now, when it comes to working this bait, there's a bunch of different ways to work it, like we were talking about. You can make really far casts and you can kind of just give it twitches and let it fall. That gives it that nice erratic bait fish presentation, or make a cast out, work it back similar like you would a jig. Or one of my favorites is big long casts, open water type deals onto rock piles, and just drag that bait into the rock pile. And when you can't move that tube anymore, you crack that rod. They call it cracking a tube, ironically. Just crack that rod, get some wild, erratic, woo style action out of that bait, and those bass will react to it incredibly fast and incredibly aggressive. The tube has been around for a very long time, and we all agree here at Dark Horse Tackle, this is one of the most underrated baits of all time. So your perfect pairing here is a Secret Lures 4-inch Stupid Tube, the 4.0 if you will, paired up with the HD Stupid Tube rig. I've got a 1/4 ounce. You let us know in the comments which weight you got and what weight you prefer to throw tubes on. I personally love a 1/4 ounce. Next up, we've got one of my favorite top waters of all time and a new company. Woo 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 woo. This is the Excite Baits Villain Popper. I've got it in the clearly bone color. I love this translucent with a little chartreuse on the belly, solid white with a little bit of brown on top, and I love throwing a popper. Once the month of May comes in, I'm throwing a popper. Whether those fish are still on beds or they're moving off beds, a popper is a great bait for that end of spawn into post spawn, then pretty much the rest of the year. I throw a popper a lot more than any other topwater bait, solely based on control, and you can control this bait a lot. It weighs a 1/2 ounce. It's just over 3 inches, so you can make bomb casts and you can bloop it, make it spit, you can get it to walk a little bit. It all depends on how you like to work your poppers. My favorite way to work poppers is either very fast or very slow. I'm either going twitch, 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 or I'm just twitch, and I'm gonna pause, I'm gonna let it sit, twitch, let it pause, and sometimes give it a real big twitch, make a big bloop in the water. I prefer to throw this particular popper on bait casting gear, a 6'8" to a 7-foot medium fast rod. I love throwing this on a braid to mono leader. My braid is floating, my mono is floating, it's keeping that bait up. There's nothing that's going to impede that action like a fluorocarbon would, because fluorocarbon does sink. But a nice 20-pound braid to a 10-pound test monofilament leader, or even higher test to keep that density of that line up in the water column, something like a 15 or 20-pound mono, is great for this style bait. But don't ever be afraid to get out just a little bit early. Get out of your comfort zone with these topwater baits. Throw them at times where you feel like they shouldn't be eating topwater. Bass will eat a topwater in different conditions that you are used to. A lot of people used to always tell me, if it's not 80 degrees, if the water temperature hasn't hit this number yet, those bass aren't gonna bite, blah, blah, blah. I have caught fish on poppers in the month of February, on poppers in April. You just have to get out there and throw it confidently. And if you know those fish are shallow, this is one of the best baits to throw in shallow water, because there's nowhere for this bait to go but up, and bass love coming from below and pinning their prey. Let's move on to the last bait. It's my favorite bait of all time. Get ready. This is the Magnum Baits Reg Stick 5-inch in the exclusive Dark Horse color. This color looks like a very nice green pumpkin, but there's more than meets the eye with the Dark Horse pattern. There's some purple shimmer, and there's some purple even injected into this bait. So this bait is perfect for those pressured waters. It is very nice in clear conditions. It's very nice in cloudy conditions, dirty water, clear water, windy days. It doesn't matter. This bait gets seen in all types of water. So if you're somebody like me who fishes those pressured waters, this Dark Horse pattern, only available at Dark Horse Tackle, is perfect for those pressured conditions. Now, everybody knows that the reg stick is a very special bait. It's a highly versatile bait. I'm gonna talk to you about 3 of my favorite ways to rig this bait. You can rig this bait on spinning gear, you can do it on bait casting gear, you can throw this bait on pretty much anything, any time of the year, everywhere, rig it however you want. Incredibly versatile, questionably the greatest soft plastic of all time. In my mind, in my opinion, this is a top 3 bait ever made. So we're going to talk about the finesse side of things with our wacky Neko hook from BKK, available at darkhorsetackle.com. And if you're a subscriber, you will get a discount on BKK hooks and Wicked Weights tungsten. So one of my favorite ways to fish this is wacky rigged, and all you're going to do is take your Neko hook from BKK and just put it somewhere near the midsection of that bait. I like keeping it a little off center, something similar to this, because when you give that bait some action, it kind of tends to go left, right, different kind of directions. And on the fall, this thing will just gently shimmy. Bass cannot resist this. You can throw this weightless, or you can grab yourself a nice screw lock Neko weight from Wicked Weights, or I prefer the nail weight. Just shove that nail weight either in the nose of the bait, towards the midsection of the bait. It just depends on how you want your bait to fall. Wherever you put that weight is going to determine which direction that bait falls. I love a nice center mass on a wacky rig, just a gentle horizontal fall, but you can also get it to fall forward, but I prefer to fish it a different way outside of the wacky rig, and that would be Neko rigging this bait. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your hook, you're going to take your bait, you're gonna point that hook towards the tail end of the bait, and I usually go really centered with this, and I'll tell you why. Just like this, hook pointed towards the tail, I put my nail weight in the nose. That nose weight is gonna make this bait fall just like that, just like a regular stickworm would on a Texas rig. But you've got this real nice finesse package that when you give the bait action, it's gonna have a little bit different of an action than it would when it's Texas rig. This is one of the most effective rigging methods for pressured water. If you fish pressured water, fish the Neko rig. Lastly, my favorite way to fish this bait is with a BKK Armor Point 3/0 wide gap hook, Texas rigged either with a weight or without a weight. I love to throw anywhere from a 3/16 to 5/16 ounce weight when I'm fishing some deeper water, or I'm flipping brush piles or bushes or sticks. For the most part, I throw this weightless a lot. You can cover a ton of water. You can fish at your own pace. You can fish it fast. You can fish it slow. You can fish it deep. You can fish it shallow. The versatility of the reg stick is highly, highly unmatched. There are not many baits in the realm of the bass fishing world that can compete with the versatility of a 5-inch reg stick from Magnum Baits. Let us know in the comments your favorite way to rig the Magnum reg stick, and let us know your favorite color, because mine is definitely the Dark Horse color. That wraps up the May box. Be sure to go to darkhorsetackle.com, check out the Creek Fishing Adventures multi-species kit, check out our selection of BKK hooks and Wicked Weights tungsten, and also every single one of these baits is available on our shop. So if you got something you really love, grab some more. You will get free shipping with orders over $100. We hope to see you in June. I know I'll be here in June. I hope you are too. June is our topwater box, so get ready for some explosive action and some even more explosive baits. You're not gonna wanna miss the June topwater box. So if you're already subscribed, we appreciate your subscription. If you're not subscribed, get in on this June box. Have a great post spawn, everybody. Catch a bunch of fish with these baits. Tag us on all social medias. We will see you in June. Dark Horse Tackle, we fish.